Stories of the day, WHAS 11 News at 6 begins right now.
We serve a living God who knows exactly where each and every one of us is at.
Those marriage licenses are legal.
Right now at 6, the Rowan County clerk who chose jail over issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples brings star power to Kentucky as she is going home a free woman tonight.
And she is going home, but what's next for Rowan County when she goes back to work? Will she issue those marriage licenses? We talked to her attorney coming up.
And a WHAS 11 News exclusive, a local police officer comes to the rescue for one little boy, the friendship they formed, and what could mean down the road.
On your side, this is WHAS 11 News.
A Kentucky County clerk is out of jail tonight after a court order set her free. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Melissa Swan.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. We do have live team coverage for you tonight from Grayson, Kentucky. That is Carter County. Huge crowds surrounded the Carter County jail as Kim Davis walked out this afternoon.
WHAS 11's Renee Murphy, Joe Arnold, and Michaela McDonald have all been covering every angle of this story for you.
We begin with our Renee Murphy live there in Carter County, Kentucky. Renee?
Well, the scene is pretty much, for the most part, clear right now, but we are now hearing from emergency management folks that there may have been as many as 4,000 to 5,000 people who were at the rally and who were around the city supporting Kim Davis today. We did have the chance to speak to her attorney. You heard from her just a little bit ago. We did hear from her attorney as well. The main questions: will she issue those marriage licenses when she goes back to work? Not a clear answer from her attorney right now. And when will she return to work? He said sometime this week. Now, you heard a little bit from Kim Davis just a few moments ago. We want to hear what else she had to say as she took the stand and spoke for the first time.
I just want to give God the glory. His people have rallied, and you are a strong people.
And those few words from Kim Davis today after she was released from jail on her 6th day of being in custody. And you talked about that star power this event brought to Kentucky, the small community of Grayson. They only have about 4,000 residents here, and they said there were about 4,000 people actually here at this rally today, including presidential hopefuls. Mike Huckabee, who helped to organize this event, as well as Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, was here, and gubernatorial candidate Matt Bevin was here supporting Kim Davis also. And this was a big event, an event that Grayson, Kentucky has never seen before.
Never seen before, and on top of that, a funny thing happened on the way to the Free Kim Davis rally. She was freed, but make no mistake about what happened today. The same judge who freed her was the one who put her in jail in the first place. This is still very much an active debate, one that politicians will take full advantage of.
After 6 days behind bars, Kim Davis emerged from the Carter County Detention Center with a smile.
All has been well.
Flanked by presidential candidate Mike Huckabee, Davis's attorney made clear that Judge David Bunning's decision today to free Davis does not resolve the issues that landed her in jail in the first place.
Kim is someone who's loyal to God, and she is loyal to her job and to her people, and she plans to be back at work this week.
It was Mike Huckabee's rally today, but GOP presidential primary opponent Ted Cruz crashed his party.
Kim Davis, I believe, is a hero, and she has inspired people across the country and across the world to stand for truth and stand for their faith.
Isn't there a difference between being an elected official with a duty to follow the law rather than the other examples you gave of a flight attendant or someone else in their religion doing their job that they're not elected to?
Well, you know, the Kentucky Religious Freedom Restoration Act explicitly applies to elected officials. Elected officials don't lose their constitutional rights at the door.
I'm tired of watching people being just harassed because they believe something of their faith. And we cannot criminalize the Christian faith or anybody's faith in this country. And I'm praying that there will be remedies that do not involve putting someone in jail for their convictions.
Now, you heard my question there, Renee, to Ted Cruz, a senator from Texas, because certainly the folks on the other side of this debate would say this is not about religious liberty. This is about someone, an elected official, whether or not they're going to do their duty or not in their job. And again, that's the outstanding question here moving forward. Will she, in fact, go back in jail if she interferes with the deputy clerks who are right now issuing marriage licenses without Kim Davis's authority?
And that is the big question. Her main thing is she doesn't want the license to be issued under her authority with her name attached to it. So if the clerks are still doing it and she stands back, is that okay because it doesn't have her signature on it? Those are questions that we still don't have clear answers to right now.
As you know, her attorney, as well as Mike Huckabee and others, are all saying this is still an open question. Mike Huckabee, by the way, even though a judge would never do this, offered to go to jail for Kim Davis today. I'm sure his presidential campaign would love that because he certainly got more attention today than ever before on the campaign trail for the 2016 race.
That's what we were just talking about, the crush of media that was here. He will be on all the national outlets today in support of Kim Davis and standing side by side with her today. Powerful image.
Kim Davis, a very powerful image, the symbol, if you will, for this debate. The question is, does that resonate beyond this evangelical Christian base here in Kentucky?
Those are questions yet to be answered. All right, our senior political editor, Joe Arnold, reporting on the politics of this event today and what an event it was. We talked about the scores of people that came here in the sweltering heat. No one was complaining. There were a few incidents where there were some issues of people having heat exhaustion, but for the most part, this event went pretty smooth. An event that's the largest that Grayson, Kentucky has seen. We want to bring in Michaela McDonald. She had the chance to really just talk to the people who were out here, the supporters, the people waving the signs and the crosses, and some people who were against everything that's been happening here today. Tell us their reaction to what happened.
Well, there was a huge crowd out here today. Many of them were holding signs saying "Free Kim Davis," and even at one point chanting "Free Kim." They obviously came here before they even knew that she would be released today from jail. And at the height of the rally, there were probably about 1,000 people here, maybe a little more than that, and they came from all over the country. I spoke with some people from New York City, from Seattle, Washington, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and they all told me that they were coming here to stand with Kim and that they wanted to stand up for freedom of religion. And they came here not knowing that she'd be released from custody today, but they say it was like having their prayers answered. And while the majority of the group here was in support of Davis, as expected, because it was a rally to stand with her, there were also a small group of supporters of same-sex marriage that were here. They wanted to make their viewpoint heard as well. They were here to peacefully protest this protest. We did see some verbal confrontations at one point, but things did remain relatively peaceful.
It was just a hallelujah moment for us, and we were just excited that we might actually get to see her. We didn't know she would be released that moment or, you know, tomorrow. We just didn't know.
I would have been in that jail cell if I were in her shoes. I would have done exactly the same as would probably 90% of the Christians that are here.
We came to support our people, just not just the people against Kim Davis, but everyone here, because we think that we have nothing against her beliefs, and if she doesn't like gay people, that is okay. That is her own thing. But she didn't have a right to disobey the law and not give out marriage certificates.
And despite the religious and political differences in the crowd, it was a hot day for all of us out here. We spoke with the emergency management team just a little while ago. They said they had between 250 and 300 cases of heat exhaustion out here, people that they treated in the cooling stations on site. The 2 people actually did have to go to the hospital for their heat exhaustion.
I mean, what a day out here. We know that there were several schools in Carter County that closed today with the anticipation of all the traffic that was going to be here, hard for parents to get in and out. And we also saw several children that were from out of town that were here, and many people pulled their kids out of school today. Some of the small Christian schools closed so they could bring their kids here to this event today. Many people here felt this was a historic day. They wanted to be a part of this event, and they wanted to have something that they could go home and share with their communities about what happened. So again, Kim Davis released today in a surprise move from the judge. What happens from here? That is still a mystery. Will she go ahead and let her deputies continue to issue those marriage licenses to same-sex couples? That will unfold as the week continues. But for now, here from Carter County, Renee Murphy, WHAS 11 News.
Thank you very
much, Renee. And you can follow our coverage of today's developments. All the court battles leading up to today are posted on our website, WHAS11.com. We also have